So great. I'm going to start by introducing us. As I said, we are Zoho Commerce and Zoho Survey together. And today we're talking about in our e-commerce marketing series that we're running right now. This is how to use surveys for e-commerce marketing. Right. So moving on, I'm going to start with a very simple statement, right? Marketing is a process. It's not one thing that you do. It's not a bunch of things that you do. It's a bunch of things done in a series over a period of time, right? So that's how it's a process, and it's very specific to specific businesses. What works for you does not work for other businesses, and so on and so forth. So you have to discover your own process, and that's what we are going to talk about. Customer surveys, of course, are an important part of that process, and I am going to try to explain how and why. So in marketing parlance, you have a very basic marketing funnel. This is the process which your prospects or your buyers are supposed to move through. So in theory, the first step for any prospect would be to be aware of your brand, of your product, of your service. So that is step number one. This is where all your marketing channels such as digital, social, and all of those stand. So once somebody is aware of your product or service, they then eventually, once they get to learn your brand a little more, learn your product and your service a little more, learn about it, you will move into their consideration set, right? So next time they're making a purchase, they will consider your product or service. If in their understanding it falls and it meets their requirements, right? Once you come or start reaching your target market's consideration sets, you will start seeing a level of conversion happening. So only when you are in somebody's consideration set, he will start to buy, or they will think of buying a product, and hence you will have a certain percentage of people who are aware of you. They will start considering you, and again a certain percentage will start converting and actually buying your product or service. Now, this is a funnel in itself, right? The first three stages essentially complete the entire buying cycle, right? But it does not complete the marketing funnel. The marketing funnel actually boils down people who have actually bought your service to people who become, or your customers who become loyal to you. So we are talking about repeat purchase here. So there will be a certain segment of buyers who will start to become repeat buyers. And the usual rule of thumb is that the Pareto principle is followed here. So you will have 80% of your revenues coming from the 20% loyal customer base that you have, which forms the core of your business, right? And the whole idea of marketing to exist is that you make your loyal customers into customer advocates, right? So these people who then start talking about your brand, product, and service to their colleagues, to their circle of influence, and they eventually become advocates of your brand, and you reach a level of word of mouth marketing, which is the best form of marketing there ever is, right? So the idea is that surveys help you connect with your customers, and essentially as such they act within the loyalty and advocacy stages of the funnel, right? So surveys cannot bring you new customers. They cannot move people from an awareness to a consideration or to conversion. But once a customer has bought your product or is in a process of buying your product, he will then probably move faster into loyalty and advocacy if you use surveys. So having established that, let us also establish that surveys are not advertising, right? What surveys are is a method of bringing the voice of the customer to you. So with the voice of the customer, you get to make your customer feel as if they're being heard, and they, as a result of it, feel close to your brand. You do get honest feedback because, uh, believe it or not, everybody wants to, give you honest feedback. That's what customers who feel close to your brand like to do, and which in turn helps you improve. Similarly, something that a lot of marketers don't really work on, and they should, is the fact that marketing content can be built out of service. So if somebody gives you a 5-star rating and he talks a lot of good stuff about your product, that's content for your marketing campaigns, right? You can use surveys as a method to push repeat purchases a little bit, right? So that way surveys can directly result in more revenue for you. You can establish continuous feedback loops using using surveys. How that helps is, any problem which you hear again and again and again, that means that you need to optimize your business process, right? So there is a process which needs optimization, and your customers will come out and tell you about it, right? So the idea here is that you need to use surveys only when you are confident that you're going to use it in a way that you want to improve the experience that your customers have, and you want to improve the business. It Service will not help you just do lip service, because at the end of the day customers will figure out that nothing has changed since the time they have been saying something, and then they will fall out and you will fall out of favor with them, right? So again, word of caution. uh, Moving on. Looks text heavy, it's not really. So in a sense, all this slide is, or this slide is trying to say is, uh, you can use surveys to push customer through the purchase journey that we just saw. So while they are best deployed at the loyalty and advocacy level, you can use the website experience, pop-up surveys, if you feel that that is something that you want to do. So let's consider a scenario here. Let's say you see a lot of data where a lot of customers do land on your website, but they just leave, right? I mean, if it's almost 95, 96, 97% of people who land and leave, the bounce rates are that high. What you could do is try a survey on that page to see, is there an obvious problem that you can solve, right? So questions like, what are you looking to do today on your homepage, or did you find what you're looking for on the product page? Or let's say we move down the list into the payment page. Are you experiencing any payment issues? And if people are experiencing payment issues, then maybe it's time to change how or where your website is hosted, or something of that nature, right? Similarly, surveys work great as an after purchase experience. You can have shipping confirmation emails where you can get rating for your shipping experience. You can get rating for your shopping experiences. Or would you consider coming back? It's a great question to ask when people are abandoning your cart, but they're opening the emails once you send them that email, but they're still not purchasing. Then you ask them a question, probably you get a better answer, and we'll just come to that. So the next area that we need to consider is what kind of questions to ask, and how do you actually form this whole idea of how do you set this whole process up. So what you have to, as in some easy tips for you to remember, is your survey should be, especially in e-commerce, your survey should be very easy to complete, right? They should be 30 seconds or less. So think of having a lot of surveys, a lot of small surveys, just a couple of questions at a time over a longer period of time with the same customer, rather than having one long survey, which is more of a marketing research angle, right? So e-commerce people are, the idea is to engage fast and quickly and many times, right? Point number two is they should always be mobile responsive, because almost 80 to 90% of your visitors will be doing so via their mobile phones. Again, we've already covered point three, smaller surveys placed in multiple places. Maybe you could think of rewarding them for the time if they do fill up a longer survey, if you have it. We will cover that at some point, but including a coupon code sometimes is, it's not really feasible at all times, but whenever it is, let's say you are sending a post purchase email, especially if the purchase was of a magnitude of a certain, it's crossed a certain threshold, at that point it might make sense to have a coupon code, right, of a certain percentage off on the next purchase or something of that nature. Relevance is extremely important. All surveys are not created equal, all questions are not equal. So if you have a qualitative kind of a question or a explanatory question in your abandoned cart email, it is not really going to work. So what you ask at what time has to be something that you have to drive and realize from your own experience as a buyer. And you need to be very cognizant of relevance. Again, you have to focus on customer experience, and you have to focus on increasing loyalty using using the method of service. You should not essentially always focus on pushing revenues, while you can sometimes, but the central focus should always be increasing customer loyalty, right? You will find a lot of details in the handout, which you can go ahead and find in the handout section right now. You can download it and you can go through it at your leisure. We have included things like what questions you can ask. Although Karthik will be covering a lot of that material, but we felt it necessary that we send some of it out to you so that you have a better experience and you don't have to sort of make too many notes, etc. So I think going ahead and downloading the handout at this point would be very beneficial, right? So while you do that, I'm just going to finish off this presentation. A quick time check. We are at 17 minutes. So I'm a couple of minutes over time. So I'm just quickly going to talk through a couple of types of surveys that we can build. And then Karthik is in earnest going to walk you through the product which Zoho has called Zoho Survey, which covers a lot of things that you can do. Right. So here is something that you can definitely use service at. So in this GIF, you can see that as I said, there was a scenario where a lot of people came to the website, but they were bouncing off or they were leaving the website. So what this particular brand has done is they have created this exit intent survey where at least a few of these customers will fill it out, and they will find out why they're leaving and how their experience was, and so on and so forth. And the second one, which we're covering here, is once the sales or this once the sale is over, you can have a quick customer happiness survey. So basic questions to ask would be, would you recommend this brand to a friend or colleague? Instead of asking a very direct question, this is something which will give you a better indication. Kindly rate how satisfied you are with the new features, right? So this is trying to figure out if people have realized there are new features on this brand or in this website right now. And kindly rate the brand on its value for money compared to competitors. So that is probably essential for the brand right now. They're thinking about value for money and they're targeting value for money seekers. So that's why the question exists. So this is a nudge of trying to explain to customers what is important for them and what the brand stands for. So that's where they capture the entire spectrum of their clients and try and figure out whether they're happy with the value the brand is trying to deliver at this point. Right. So I think it's time for us to move to the actual demo. And I am going to pass on the controls to Karthik. Hi, Karthik, over to you.
So hi everybody. So I'm Karthikeyan. I take care of Zoho Survey product management, and I head marketing and sales as well. So today I am going to show you the demo of how to create a survey and how to add questions to it, and how to add a pop-up survey in your website, e-commerce website, and how to embed a survey to get a voice of customer in the voice of customer section, and then I'm going to show how to insert a survey, inline survey in your post purchase email, and insert a survey link in the post purchase email, and I'll show you the report of the survey responses as well as. So now I'll start share my screen. Hope everybody see my screen. So now I'll access my Zoho survey account. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll sign into an account. So once I sign into Zoho survey platform, so you could see the list of templates which we have over here, and we have around 250 different kind of templates. So if you do not know how to create a survey, what questions to ask, and which scenario, so that you can use any of our templates and create a survey, and you can also modify the template, and you can add more questions to that template survey as well. If you want, if you have a questionnaire with you, then you can create a survey from the scratch. So for the demo purpose, I will use one of the survey from the template. So I'll choose customer satisfaction survey. So in that, I will pick, to start with, I'll pick a customer feedback survey. So you can also preview over here what are the questions present in the survey. So here you could find first name, last name field, company, email address, telephone number, and the product or service which they were subscribed, and the other questions like how did they hear, how long they have been customer, how did they serve the product, meet their expectation. So now I'll just use this template to create a survey. So now the questions is created, which is there in the template. So with this, you can also add additional fields, like I'll just add a small field like, okay, so since this is in a trial period, so I cannot able to add more questions. You can add 10 questions to a survey, which is in a free plan or in a trial period as well. So now I'll go and publish this survey. Now here you can find the survey link. So you can just simply copy and paste it in any of your email client and send it out to your customers. So what I'll do is I'll go to e-commerce platform. I'm on ecommerce.zoho.com. So I have already created a e-commerce store which is already there in the platform. So now what we can do is I'll start setting, in the settings, you can find the email notifications. In the email notifications, you could see order summary, confirmed, order shipped, and order delivered. So in the order delivered email template, you can actually insert the survey wherever you like. So what I'll do is I will pick this place to insert my survey. Just click on insert survey. So yeah, I'm sorry. Before that, what you need to do is you need to go to the integration section. To integrate Zoho survey into e-commerce platform. So here you could find Zoho survey. So just connect it, and now you can go back to the settings and then select the email notification. So under the email notification, you can select order delivered, and you can select the survey now. So the survey which is created in the survey platform will be listed out here. You can just pick that survey, and then the take your survey will appear. So you can save this. So whenever an order is delivered, this email will be sent to the customer. So when they open the email template, they can answer the survey from the email itself. I'll just show you how the responses will be in the platform. I'll just fill my name. First name, T, company, Zoho, CTI, Chennai, and IE. I'll just provide the random answer to this questionnaire. On this. So now I received the responses. You can find those responses in the report section. You could see the summary of the responses and the individual responses over here. If you wanted to track from for which order number this survey responses is created, for which product this feedback was given. So to do that, you can create a custom variable over here, and then insert append that in the survey URL, so that you could able to see from for which product the feedback has been given, for which from which customer the feedback has been received. So now what I'll do is I'll go and create one more survey, so which will be like a pop-up survey. I'll use the category as customer satisfaction survey. For a pop-up survey, what we can do is you can ask a few questions like, did you find what you're looking for, and is there something missing off the page? So just I will drag and drop a questionnaire. So we have a predefined questionnaire, predefined options, so that you can choose one of them, and I'll just save it. Now I'll add a long answer below that, and I will add a question to it. Now the survey is created for a pop-up survey. So I'll publish this survey, and you can find the pop-up survey over here in the launch section. So here you can set after scrolling 50% of the website, you can show the pop-up, or after exit intent, or after 10 seconds of the page, or immediately after the page loads. So we have these many settings over here. I'll just choose after scrolling 50%, and then I will just choose. You can also set where you want to place. It's in the top right, or top bottom, and the left bottom, or in the center. So I'll just pick center, and I'll generate the code. So I'll just copy this survey code, and I'll go to e-commerce store, and in the site builder, I'll place this survey code. Oh my God, it's not loading. Yeah, so it gets load. So in the below of the page, I will add an element, and in the element, I will choose code snippet, and I will paste this code snippet, and then I'll name the code snippet as a pop-up, and click on OK. So this will not render in unpublished site. So now what I'll do is I'll publish the site. So now the site is published. Now I'll access the site and show you how the pop-up survey is displayed in your e-commerce website. So it keeps on loading. Okay. So now the site is loaded. Now you could see when I scroll 50% of the website, a pop-up survey appears. So now I'll just click on the feedback and just submit. So it will show you a thank you message as well. And you can also customize this thank you message. And whenever any person says that they answer no, you can set up an email trigger in the hub section so that you will get to know what is missing in it. So since this is in a trial period, trial mode, you cannot able to do that. So if you want to know how about that, so you can reach out to me and I will send you the steps to do that. Now, now I'll show you how to embed a survey form in the website. So now I'll go to the launch section again, and I'll pick the embed code. I'll copy this embed code. You can just click on it and you can copy it. Now again, I'll go to the e-commerce site. So here in the voice of customer section, I will embed this survey form. Time to reload it. Yeah. So I will add this in an element. So I'll just pick an embed over here. I'll just paste this. Or you can use the same snippet actually, code snippet also. You can just use this and paste this. Feedback. You can just name that feedback. So this will also not render in an unpublished site. So now again, I'll go and publish the site. Now I'll click on the site over here. So if you go to the voice of customer section, you can find the survey form embedded in it. If you want, you can customize this page with your own theme section, and you can answer the survey. So these responses are captured in the report section. You could see that over here. So we can also find the individual responses. You could also filter the responses based on the condition as well in our filter section. Now I will show you how to embed a survey inside the email. I'll create one more survey. Create survey in line email. So this is also comes under a customer satisfaction category. I'll choose a category. So now you can put the NPS scale, rate CR service, and this will be like a mandatory, and then you can put 0 to 10 scale. So usually NPS scale is like 0 to 10. So you can alternatively you can use Likert scale. You can put smileys in it. We have numbers and smileys over there. So you can alternatively use Likert scale or rating scale. So so now if the person chooses below 5, you could able to see you could able to show them a long answer and ask what went wrong. I'll just save it. So now I'll go to launch section and publish the survey. Now I'll use this inline email and I'll choose the question. I will choose the commerce. Here, if you want to track who has responded to the survey, you can always put a direct value and track the respondents. I'll copy this. Now I'll move to site settings. Sorry, not site settings, in the settings itself. So under the settings, so here you can put this code in order shipped as well. So heading away, and you can put below this. What you need to do is you just need to enter it, and then you need to go select HTML over there, and just enter over here. Just put your code and see, again change it to visual. So here you can find oh, actually that something went wrong. I'll use the different survey for this. I will use smileys here. I'll pick one of the smiley, and I will choose 10-point scale and save it. Go to log section, can inline email. I'll pick the question, choose commerce, generate HTML, copy this code, and again I will paste it in the HTML. So now I think there should not be any disturbance in it. Just if you see the so in this email, actually it should come here over here, but there is some problem with the code. So you can put this, and then when the email is sent out, when they click on any of the smiley, the responses get captured and stored in the Zoho survey platform. And you can set up the notification whenever they provide low rating, so that you can able to track them back and ask their problem and solve the problem in the shipment or in delivery, whatever scenario they have responded the survey. I hope I have covered most of the things. So now I will transfer my control to Ashish, so that he'll be able to take care of the rest of the thing. Ashish, I am transferring the control
Yeah,
to you.
perfect. Uh, Thank you so much, Karthik. That was really helpful. I'm not technical at all, so to be honest, I got a little scared when you were running us through the code, but it seemed simple enough, to be honest. All right. So, Karthik, I'm just going to throw some questions at you now. We have had tons of questions. So the first one here is from Sunny, who's asking us, will it be possible to, run surveys in another language, probably in French, or is it only in English?
Yeah, we can run language in. We provide 75 different language translations, so that you can create a survey in English, and you can translate it into multiple languages. So you can run the survey in French as well.
Perfect. Uh, I have been telling people that survey is a part of Zoho One. I hope I'm right.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Zoho survey is part of Zoho One.
perfect. Also, is survey can be run on Zoho sites as well, right? And not just on commerce, of course.
Yeah, so Zoho site, the same similar way you can embed the survey form or embed the survey pop up in Zoho sites as well.
Great. A few questions around whether survey can be used with platforms such as WordPress.
Yeah, so you can copy the embed code. So how the similar way you embed the survey in Zoho Commerce, you can embed the survey in WordPress as well, the other platforms as well.
Great. And I'm assuming a great integration with Zoho CRM as well.
Yeah.
So Dean asked us at some point whether we have, whether you have training material to use to show people how to use survey with CRM. So is there somewhere you can point them? And
Yeah, we have lots of handouts to do that.
okay,
So you can write to support at the rate of zohosurvey.com so that
okay,
we can provide you the materials to
all right.
integrate the survey platform with CRM.
You know what? I'll just drop an email to Dean at the end of the webinar, and we can sort of send him the links, etc. At that point.
Yeah, sure.
Also, integration questions. Do we have integrations from? Somebody asked if you have an integration with Sage ERP. If I'm not wrong, Sage ERP 300 or something. Let me just.
We do not have an integration with Sage ERP, but you can copy the survey link and paste it in the Sage ERP and send it out to your customers or contacts. And if you want to track the respondent participants, you can use custom variable and then append those information in the server URL and send it out to your contacts.
Okay. Sorry, Jillian, I'm sorry. The question here was we were just talking about different integrations across different platforms. So we just confirmed that Survey has integrations with Zoho CRM, with Zoho One, with WordPress, and essentially it's a code that you can take and in any platform which runs code, you can just sort of insert that, or if not, like with Sage ERP or something, you can use the links for surveys where you will be able to capture the answers in there. So I think we have almost everything answered. I'll just quickly, so if I'm sorry if I've missed asking anything, could you please type in your questions again in the question section, and I'll just raise those with Karthik.
Yeah, so I think there is one more question, like, can the survey be inserted in Zoho campaigns? I only managed it with a button. Without a button, is it possible? Yeah, so it's possible. You can copy the link, or you can just insert the survey link in Zoho campaigns as well, and you can also embed the inline survey in Zoho campaigns, like how I did in Commerce platform. And
Okay.
the next question is, how do you know where to insert the HTML snippet in the page HTML? So you can create you can add an element. So in that element, you can choose the code snippet or the iframe embed, so that you can able to embed the survey form.
Okay. There's another one I think we missed somewhere. I just noticed it. This is again Jillian asking the question. How do you ensure that responses which were bought are valid answers versus random completion of questions? So I think you have, our survey has a functionality, of this sort. So would you like to explain a little more, Karthik?
Yeah. So what you can do is you so the question is, how do you ensure that bot responses are valid answers versus random completion of questions? So we have audience panel, so where you can purchase the responses, and it will be for your market research. So if you want to get to know the brand reach or the service you do, so you can use our audience panel and buy the responses.
Great. Okay. So Eric has a very interesting question here. Okay, and I think this is one of those that as in it's an evergreen question. It says, I would like to get advice on how to educate or gain aware, or that the customers gain awareness of new services and products. without making it look like a sales pitch, right? And I think this is what every marketer asks all the time. So if you don't mind, I'll take this one, Eric. And so this is a curveball in the sense that whenever, so the idea is the voice or the tone that you take in any marketing material should not seem like a sales pitch. That's number one. So let's say let's just take the survey thing here, right? It's not a direct sales pitch. So how you could frame your question in this situation is, hey customer, are you aware of these services that we have recently introduced, right? It's a yes or no question. Or if you are aware, then this next question is, have you considered purchasing it from us? Yes or no? If it is no, then why have you not considered? As in, do you already purchase this elsewhere? So this is in the garb. Let's say that this is like a research question, but your existing customers will come to learn about your products. They need to at least have some awareness of your existing products. But again, I mean, this is all framing. This is all the way you present your marketing material, rather than. So as long as you are hiding a sales pitch in your marketing material somewhere, it is going to come across as a sales pitch. So try and avoid that, and I think you should be fine.
The next question is, in Sales IQ, can survey embedded? So we provide iframe code. You can embed the survey wherever you want, and you can also use our inline survey so that you can embed that script code into Sales IQ platform as well. And we have Zoho surveys integrated with Sales IQ platform as well. So the next question is,
Yep.
iframes do not look good, an easy alternative for embedding code for pop-ups. So you can actually, we provide iframe embed code. You can adjust the size, width and height of that iframe embed so that you to make it nice in the page. You can do that actually.
Great. There's another one. I'm just going to project this one. This is in Zoho survey. Is there a way to integrate offline customer responses?
So in Zoho survey, is there a way to integrate offline customer responses to the same questions? Example, can we add answers to the backend? Uh, so here it is. I think he wants to push the responses to his own platform, own software system. Yes, we can do actually. We have a webhook functionality. With that, you could add your API and then configure the survey response parameters and push it to your software system.
Great. All right. Okay, we have a comment. I think the next one. I think we have almost all the questions covered. Do you spot anything else, Kritika or Karthik? And we can project that question.
No, I don't think.
All right. I think we have covered everything. Nevertheless,
yes, we have covered everything.
Whenever, in case you have, or if you feel you have any questions, I'll just project a couple of things for you. Sorry, I'm not able to screen share anymore, but I'm just gonna talk. There are two. So of course, all the material is available in the handout section for you to download. You will have our email IDs that you can reach out at. We are available at marketing@zohocommerce.com for Zoho Commerce, and support at zohosurvey.com for Zoho Survey. And that is about it from us. One final question from Henry. Is there a way to combine survey questions to generate a summary report from all respondents?
Okay, so I think you are looking to combine all the survey questions in one single report. So that is directly not available in the survey platform, whereas you can push the responses to spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet or Zoho spreadsheet, and then there you can combine the survey responses. Also, we have Zoho Analytics integration, so you can sync all your survey reports in Zoho Analytics. Then there you can generate a summary report from all the respondents. If it is a single survey response, then we by default we provide a summary report.
Okay,
Okay.
got it. So I have another question from Roberto. Roberto, I have noted your question. I think we covered it once. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write to you separately over an email and answer the question for you. That's, I hope that is okay. And I that's about it, I guess. I'm just doing a final check. Um, All right, great. So we have essentially covered everything. If we have missed anything, I'm sorry. We usually go back and do a entire check for everything, and we will write back to you and try and answer your question. You already have our email addresses. In case we have missed anything, please do remind us. Send us an email. We'll be very happy to answer your questions. And oh, thank you so much, Jillian. I really appreciate that comment. So yeah, that's all from us. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming over. A quick time check. We are at 52 minutes. So yeah, just about on time. Thank you so much. Do write to us. We really and there'll be a survey at the end of the webinar. Do fill it out. We'll also send you an email with the recording by next week. So you should have that as well. So don't forget to take your handouts from the panel. And well, thank you so much. Thank you, Karthik, and thank you, Kritika, for helping us through this. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.